Every year, artificial intelligence gets closer and closer to eventually matching and surpassing things created by actual humans. As someone who's dedicated the last year of his life to creating a project with animated fictional characters fighting each other to the death in a tournament bracket, you can imagine the sheer existential dread that rushed through my body when I saw this video, posted by the YouTuber Doug a few weeks ago. The video is called, "I used AI to make video game characters fight to the death." And it's basically what it sounds like. An AI-written tournament between fictional characters fighting to the death. Which, needless to say, hit home. This video was an emotional whirlwind. I laughed, I cried, I sang along, I linked it in the description, but it left me with an important question. What would one of these scripts look like if it was put into an actual animation, and more importantly, how does it compare to the fights that we've already made as a team? Can man beat machine, or will this AI finally prove that CB Slayer was right all along? Before we get into the actual animation though, we need to talk a bit about the parameters of this comparison. Two of our first animations ever on the channel were fights between two characters that are also featured in Doug's tournament, Link and Mario. To keep things interesting and to give the human race our best chance possible, we're going to be comparing the AI fights to our strongest of the first two animations. Finding the stronger of the two animations seemed a little subjective. Luckily, we did a fan poll a while back and asked people to rate each of our episodes on a scale of 1 to 10. Mario vs. Mega Man just barely beat out Link vs. Ridley by just less than half of a point. So that's going to be our video of choice for the comparison today. But to have an effective comparison, we're going to need to have some criteria to measure up against. After some deliberation, I decided on the following categories: creativity, narrative strength, or how good the story of the animation is, and spectacle, which is basically just how fun it was to watch and if there's any cool moments. And each of these are going to be rated on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm also going to be adding in a fourth category for myself as a creator, which is the ease of production. If making AI-generated videos is more difficult than the ones created by me, then what's even the point? But in order to get meaningful feedback on the script, I was going to need a written version of the Doug script. So I watched through the video meticulously several times and transcribed the entire fight so that we'd have a better comparison. Now, naturally, I would be a little bit biased when rating my babies, so I assembled 3 teams of judges to help me out. The internal Smash Bracket team, the Smash Bracket Discord server, and some wildcard judges, my parents, to rate each script in each category on a scale of 1 to 10. So I sent out the polls and then did all I could do: wait. But while I waited for those results to come in, I stayed busy. After all, what good is a fight script without an animation to accompany it? We can't fairly compare both scripts unless they're given equal end products. But that begs the question: how the heck was I supposed to put together an entire animation written by an AI, especially without totally screwing up our posting schedule? But first things first, I needed animators. I reached out to one of the animators from the original Mega Man vs. Mario video, Levitation or Levi, to see if he could help. And thankfully, he was down. But he also brought up a good point. Trying to get this out without messing up our schedule was a big play, and it was a good investment, but his last point really got my attention. We would need to get this thing out fast. On average, one page of a script roughly equals 1 minute of animation. Going off of what the AI wrote, we were looking at about 1.5 minutes of animation here, which was far too much for a single animator to make in a reasonable amount of time. We were gonna need some more help. So I reached out to one of our other animators, Darker, to see if he was interested in helping me out. Turns out he's a huge fan of both Mario and Link, so he was super interested. But I may have forgotten to mention that the script was entirely written by an AI, but he figured it out pretty quickly though. But luckily, Darker is awesome and still took on the challenge. So I took the script, edited it into a screenplay format to make things easier on the animators, and then I split up the work between the two of them. We figured that between them, if they really rushed it, they could probably get it done in about 2 weeks. Some of the stuff in this script is really out there, so I couldn't wait to see how it came together. So surveys, check. Animation, check. The only thing that was missing was audio. Now, animation audio is generally made of 2 distinct but equally important parts: music and sound design. Music seemed like the bigger of the 2 challenges here, so I decided to start there. In our videos, we have a few different musicians that we work with who make custom scores for each animation. Most of our current tracks are made by Sky to GM, links to their channel in the description, but way back in the early days of Mario vs. Mega Man, I was working with a guy I found on Fiverr, Michael T. Janaka. I gave him a few reference tracks and got the track back in just a few days. I love how the end product came out here, but this brings us to the Doug script. How could I truly test out the merits of an AI animation if we get the music made by humans? After a little bit of digging, I found this website, sounddraw.io. All I had to do was give it a genre, mood, tempo, instrument selection, and length. And so after getting an estimate on the length from the animators, I put it into the system and I was good to go. I knew I needed something epic and upbeat to match the fight section of the script. But if you saw the original Doug Doug video, you'll also know that it has one of the most heartbreaking moments in all of cinema. So I needed a nice emotional track to match that. A few clicks later, and I was set. This brings us to sound design. When you watch an animation, every single thing that you hear needs to be manually added one sound effect at a time. Normally the animators help us out on this, but asking for finished sound design on top of an animation in such a short time was going to be way too much to reasonably ask of someone. So I reached out to another person on our team named Wind for some help. Wind did much of the sound design on our Joker vs. Snake video and the Paper Mario vs. Archie Sonic video over on our sister channel, Crossover Coliseum. And after bribing him with some sushi, we had our sound designer. Now, the last thing that we needed was a voice actor for Mario and Link. They both have original voice artists from their games, but that wasn't going to work with the dialogue at the end of our script here. Something this dramatic had to have a voice that could live up to its intense anime spirit. So I reached out to RedPeacock, a voice actor on our team who speaks fluent Japanese, and he happily accepted the chance to voice both characters. The last character with dialogue was the concerned referee who drops in near the end of the animation. Our animator Levi just finished voicing the ring announcer in Wolf vs. Incineroar, and so he was more than happy to reprise the role. And just like that, we were good to go. Levi and Darker were animating, Soundraw had our music, Wind had the sound design, RedPeacock had the voice acting of our leading men, while Levi was voicing the referee, and finally, Doug Doug had the script. Happy surprise collab, Doug Doug. I hope this has been as special for you as it has been for me. And after 2 weeks of waiting, the video was finally finished. If you want to watch our Mario vs. Mega Man animation for reference, I'll throw it in the top right hand corner, but for now, without any further ado, I present to you what is likely the first battle animation written entirely by artificial intelligence. Doug Doug's Link vs. Mario.
Let's go!
Well, excuse me, plumber.
3, 2, go.
Mario, are you okay? You need to get back up and fight, Mario! Link, please get up! You still have a chance to win this tournament, Link! Please!
Oh, Mario さん、大丈夫ですか？助けてあげましょうか？
貴様、ピーチ姫を救わなきゃいけねえんだ。リンク、こんなに死なせないでくれ。彼女を救い出せ。
僕はあなたを殺さなきゃいけないことが分かっているでしょう。マリオさんを殺さないとピーチ姫は彼の手で殺されます。今日のここで怒られたことを本当に申し訳ありませんでした。
That was beautiful. Honestly, it's a miracle that this animation came together in such a short amount of time. But now that the video has been made, the question remains, how does it compare to our own script? I checked the results from the polls and finally had enough data to determine the winner. Let's start with the Smash Bracket team. I'm throwing the results of their feedback on screen now. Because of the speed that I'm making this video at, I didn't actually know what the team's ratings were when I recorded this, so this might age poorly, but thank you guys so much for rating our script so high. Your faith and support means the world to me. Next up, we had the public Discord server, my own fan base. At the time of the recording, Doug Doug's script got an average creativity score of 7.36, whereas our script got a 6.17. Oh wait, all right, hold up. Really, Bartimus? A 2? Okay, we had Cat Mario fight the snake launcher thingy. That's gotta at least be a 3, but you know what? All right. Point Doug Doug. Next up is narrative strength. Doug Doug got a 6.83, while the Smash Bracket team brought in a solid 4.95. All right, oh, a 1? Rokim21? Okay, actually, no, that one's fair. We didn't even have a concerned referee in ours, so point Doug Doug. But last up, we've got Spectacle. Team Doug Doug had an average score of 5.29, whereas the Smash Bracket script brought in a 6.89. Yeah, baby, that's a D+, and we were finally on the board. But for our last category, we had ease of creation, and there's only one person who can answer this question. The guy who animated both of these videos. Take it away, Levi.
So a video as random as Doug Doug's Link vs. Mario required a different workflow and unique challenges compared to my previous work on the channel. Mario vs. Mega Man had tighter deadlines and less room for creativity, whereas something like Link vs. Mario is wholly dependent on creativity to animate the increasingly bizarre scenarios. Instead of the usual challenge of being able to convey the character's strength as best as canonically possible, Mario vs. Link required animating pure chaotic happenstance. So obviously these were different challenges, but if I had to rate the ease of production for each of these, I would give Doug Doug's script an 8 out of 10 and Mario vs. Mega Man a 6 out of 10. Back to you, Ink.
Yeah, frick. Okay, I mean, like, what does the animator even know anyway about the animation? Crap. Things are neck and neck. This is anybody's game. It could still go either way. But I know what you're thinking. What about the wildcard judges that I said are worth a zillion trillion points? I totally said that, shut up. That's right, we've got to turn to the only opinion that matters, dear old mom and dad. I bet you're shaking in your freaking boots right now, the user 789. And after checking their feedback, my dad, he ignored me. But my mom said, I enjoyed Mario vs. Link better, what felt like a more complete story, and all right, you know what? Maybe this video was a bad idea.